Welcome, it's your modern time theoretical physicist with a new video. Let's venture a global off-world space travel with no universe speed limit, a fate Einstein assumed back 100 years ago. Here it is. Also a modern view for backwards and forwards time travel, message communications. But what about this? Why would someone want to send a message back in time?
Imagine, I eject a message, light radio, whatever, right here on Earth. Under the quantum physics theory, it moves at c because Earth's gravity acts like a damping matrix. Think of it as a dense interaction grid that formats and paces every step. That local field resistance isn't random, it's a governor. The result? A stable baseline speed, c. Now take the same message to deep space, far from planets, far from drag. Space isn't a bendy fabric, it's a flat trajectory matrix. No curves, no cosmic speed limit baked into geometry. So what happens? Velocity becomes simple linear vector addition. Rule 1. Baseline ejection gives me c. Rule 2. The uniform outward propulsion of expanding space adds another c. Sum them and I get 2c. That's the hook, c near Earth 2c in deep space. Here's the explanation. In standard relativity, c is the untouchable ceiling because space-time's geometry enforces it. In the quantum physics theory, geometry steps aside. No curvature, no probabilistic fuzz. Just deterministic vectors on a flat grid. Gravity doesn't warp paths, it resists them. Earth's field behaves like a pacing medium that locks signals to c. Remove that medium and I free the baseline. Then the universe's expansion, treated as a steady outward push, adds linearly to my trajectory. No diminishing returns, no asymptotes. Just c plus ec. Proof? I can't point to a textbook. This is a different framework. So I lean on predictions you could try to falsify. Prediction A, time of flight from a deep space beacon should arrive sooner than relativity allows by a factor approaching 2. Prediction B, as a probe exits Earth's gravity, signal latency should transition smoothly from C-bound to 2C-bound behavior. Prediction C, near massive bodies like Jupiter, the cap trends toward C. In voids, it trends toward 2C. In short, trajectory, not geometry. Deterministic scaling, not relativistic limits. If space is a level playing field, speed stacks. First c from the ejection, then c from expansion. That's the quantum physics theory's mechanics of transmission. Simple rules, bold consequences.
To reach superluminal speeds, we must look beyond standard physics. Our theory introduces uncapped velocity within a quantum corridor. Imagine a realm where energy is completely unbound.
Imagine you're alone in the deepest dark a billion light years from anything floating in perfect nothing. You kick a boulder, it doesn't budge much, your foot hurts. And that tiny painful moment in a cosmic void explains why motion doesn't need stuff to push against. Here's the paradox. Hook, no air, no dust, no resistance. Why isn't movement meaningless there? Shouldn't rockets stall without something to shove on like a swimmer without water? It feels like motion needs a medium. But it doesn't. First, inertia does not require gravity. Mass is inertia, an object's built-in stubbornness against changing its motion. Newton's first law says it. Relativity preserves it. In deep space, zero gravity doesn't mean zero mass. The boulder still resists acceleration because that resistance lives inside the boulder, not in the environment. The equivalence principle tells me inertial mass and gravitational mass are the same number, but neither causes the other. They're two faces of one property. Second, momentum and exhaust don't need density. When a rocket fires, it throws exhaust backward and, by Newton's third law, gets flung forward. That's a closed deal between rocket and exhaust. No air required. No drag, better expansion of exhaust, more efficient space. Doesn't need to push back. The ship and its exhaust do the entire exchange themselves. Third, the ether is gone. We tested the idea that space has a hidden density, the luminiferous ether. Michelson and Morley looked for Earth's motion through this medium. They found nothing. Light doesn't ride waves in a substance. It is the wave, and it cruises the vacuum just fine. So why the universal speed limit if the highway is empty? Because space isn't just a stage. Space-time has geometry. Think of the speed of light not as a cosmic cop, but as a conversion rate between space and time. Sitting still, I move through time 1 second per second. Start moving fast through space, and I spend some of that motion through time. As speed increases, I tilt my path more into space, less into time, until I hit a hard geometric limit. That max tilt is c. Relativistic momentum energy, not much extra speed. No drag, just math. What about an invisible sea of massless particles secretly enforcing the limit? Photons, virtual particles, maybe gravitons, but if a field physically pushed back, it would create a universal rest frame. Every experiment says there isn't one. Massless quanta move at c. They don't form a wall, and the limit is about causality. Break c, and some observer can watch effects happen before causes. That's not just fast, that's paradox. Could time gradients help? Gravity really does reshape time. Clocks run slower, deeper in wells, paths bend, lenses form. Attractive, repulsive, twisted by gravity. If a signal takes a space-like shortcut, there exists a perspective where it arrives before it's sent.
Here's the hook. The universe isn't just space, it's void versus gradient. And that difference flips the speed of light from a universal law into a local house rule. Think of the car analogy problem. A car rolls till it runs out of fuel. But in physics, nothing runs out unless it spends energy on something. Friction, heat, radiation, drag. So if a message flies through a truly empty void, no fields, no density, no anything, what's it spending on? Nothing. It wouldn't slow down, fade, or stop. It would just keep going, forever, untouched. Unless space itself is a kind of ground. Picture an invisible baseline potential spread across the universe, like an electrical ground. Not matter, not air, a reference grid. Now the traveler, your signal, your message, isn't rubbing against particles. It's comparing itself to the baseline. The ground sets the rulebook. Here's the twist. When that baseline is greater than zero, a positive gradient, the ground shows up. It sets speed limits, enforces cause and effect, and drains energy when there's a mismatch. But in a true zero gradient void, flat line. No slope, no friction, no background pressure. Cause and effect go on standby. Your message becomes uncoupled. State preserved, distance ignored. So what makes it stop? A cliff. As soon as it crosses from zero into a positive gradient, like a gravity well or dense region, the ground snaps back. Step function activation. The message collapses out of its uncoupled transit and recouples into normal physics. It doesn't run out of energy like a car. It grounds out like a charge meeting Earth. This reframes c, the speed of light. In this model, c is the local speed limit for the coupled state, the active zones with positive gradient. Inside the zero void, the message isn't breaking the limit. It's traveling in a mode that isn't measured by that limit at all. It's not speeding. It's not even moving the way we think. It's uncoupled until it hits the cliff. Why do we always measure c as constant? Because we're stuck in the same pool we're measuring, our lasers detect as clocks. all live inside a positive gradient. Of course, they report C. That's the local rule. It's like timing sound underwater and calling that the universal max, never realizing there's an outside where the rules change. So void versus gradient ties the model together. Relativity still works, locally. It nails the behavior inside active zones, but the wider universe might be a neutral backdrop with pockets of on-physics. Inside the pockets, C rules. Across the void, the message waits, untouched, until the ground returns and says, "Okay, now play by our rules." That's the conflict solved. Nothing runs out in true nothing. It only ends when the ground shows up. Void versus gradient. That's the map.
We blame mass for not breaking light speed. Maybe the real culprit is the medium itself. The Lorentz factor, gamma, is pure geometry. As V nears C, the field grid must stretch to keep causality intact. Clocks slow, lengths contract. That mass goes to infinity story is a neat deception. Really, you're limited by how fast the field can pass an excitation along. Now imagine a phase flip. A moving excitation reconfigures the local field into a near-empty void. No particle friction, a temporarily uncoupled medium. In theory, you'd bypass the grid's rules and take a metric shortcut. Think metric engineering, a topological hop. Wild but deeply speculative myth flirting with math.
In the fabric of space, light energy and graviton particles exist in delicate equilibrium. When relativistic mass collides with this field at near light speed, the particles reset and reorganize, creating a graviton void that deflects light and clears a pathway. A clean pathway for starships to traverse the cosmos.